Ramalaya Namaha. We are all placed inside a specific environment. Even in our own domestic arena, we can bring the privileges that we are enjoying in various other exclusive organizations or institutions. We can bring health, we can bring education or knowledge. We can also establish entertainment facilities in our own house. We have home theatre. Many people are having their bedrooms indistinguishable from hospital ICUs or hospital care units. Similarly, we have study rooms in our houses. In spite of having the architecture as well as structuring facilities that can bring everything that we are going to get from an external exclusive environment, still there are specific environments that are much solicited by people because of their extremely beneficial nature and highly organized nature. Our study room as well as the study mood that we develop inside a campus, they are no doubt collaborative with each other, but certainly they are distinct. And health services that we are receiving from our own house by home customized health services and health professionals and assistants and attendants is just a fragment of what we can get from ICU, CCU and other established medical organizations. Coming to this point, connected with this organization, we are inside a campus. We call it as a campus. What do you mean by a campus and what is a camp? Where we come and go, where we make ourselves viable for an interim purpose. We establish ourselves for a purpose. All of us assemble, do a work and then vanish and move for a second area is a camp. The same parameters or the same procedures are also included in the school methodology. Many people from distinct cultures and various backgrounds are assembling here for a common purpose of pursuit of knowledge in the status of pursuing something that is essential for the person's life settlement, and also persons those who are ambitious of achieving something for the well-being of the planet or for the nation. All of the people assemble here, they undergo their education pursuit and then just they vanish away. What is the difference between camp and campus? In a camp, the spirit that we maintain, there is a medical camp, there is also a military camp, there is also a tourage camp where we make tents in places wherever we move. All these camps, the structure of the camp as well as the associate articles of the camp, they have nothing to do with the metamorphosis that is happening to the inmates. Whereas in a campus, the ambience, the articles, the associates, the various other factors that are there in the form of lively as well as technological and material formats. In lively formats, we have our own students, those who are in the group, we have our own faculties, we have our management, all these people come under the lively objects. And we have technology, by all means. We have PowerPoint presentations, we have great computers, and we have automation, and we have many things that are essential for high-tech learning. Rapid learning, assimilable learning, sophisticated, voluminous learning made possible within no fraction of time is available. So, campus and camp are actually different. Camp is just a provision, it is just an outer sheath, it is just a skin. Whereas campus has not only connection with the skin but also with the nerves and veins and dealing up to the arteries where knowledge is pumped throughout your soul just as blood is pumped throughout the body. So a campus has a spirit inside. Kindly understand the difference between camp and campus. In camp, the inmates are responsible and the camp structure is very, very negligible or infinitesimal in distilling something. Whereas campus, there is a possible for an alchemic transformation, a sudden unexpected growth. Something which is miraculous or unexpected from a person can be attributed or accomplished inside a campus. For example, camp is a storehouse where you can preserve things. Whereas campus is not only a storehouse but a laboratory where people are assessed. What is your natural inclination? What is your capacity to deal with the stuff? Your cognitive load management skills, the CLM. Subject preference, understanding of the subject, and ability to bear the load, ability to rejoice. It is the eudaimonic bliss quotient, EBQ. What is eudaimonic bliss? Whenever we read, whenever we learn something, it should not be kept as mere transformation. It should not be just possessed as something for your academic enrichment. It should fetch you satisfaction, confidence, courage, joy and bliss. Then only it will benefit you, all of your associates and your own campus and the entire society in width. So the eudaimonic or the science of bliss that exists inside a campus is something to be architected. This architecture may not be done by mere civil architectures. There are three architectures responsible for infrastructure of a school or any education campus. One is the civil architecture, which deals with the sophisticated buildings. Second is caliber architecture, where the person's attention, memory, the person's presentation skills, oratory skills, extra communication skills, innovative abilities, all these things are built inside a campus. And third is character building, how to shape our behavior with people. What is association, what is coalition, what is forgiving, what is adjustment, what is flexibility, all these things are automatically, they are the byproducts which we are gaining, even though they are not conducted by special instruction classes. Automatically when we move with different emotional configurations and different types of people, we learn all these things together. So coming to stressing of the main point once again, as it is an essential backbone of every education system, let it be management, science, technology, arts, humanities or anything else, everything is encapsulated into a common version, a four-tier version, and it may be also further chiseled into innumerable subordinate particles. One is our exterior environment, interior environment, innermost environment, external environment and exclusive environment along with the exhaustive environmental exposure, which we call EEE. It is much essential for management. What is management? Management is defined as an art of adjusting the exterior to the interior and vice versa, and all the mutual adjustments of these various tiers of systems that I have quoted now is known as management. How to adjust and where to adjust anything, how to move. Actually, gravity takes something. What is gravity? Gravity takes something from a higher platform towards a lower platform. Isn't it so? Gravity from a higher platform, it absorbs something to a lower platform. Here, this gravity, this mind gravity is to take something from a lower platform to a higher platform. That is known as adjustment. If two people are together, if two hemispheres of the same person's mind or structure is there, what is a good adjustment? Changing the thing or adjusting or improvising the thing that which is mediocre or inferior to the level of a superior and praiseworthy thing is known as adjustment. Bringing the same thing into the pit, bringing a pit to the level of a calf is something greater, and that is a permissible adjustment. That is also laudable. And joining cow herd also, the whole cow groups also in the herd of pigs, in the coalition of the pigs movement, that is a wrong adjustment, that is an impermissible transmission that happens. So what we emphasize is management. What is management? What is exterior? Exterior means we are having books, we are having library, we are having research labs. I have seen many labs here. Something for entrepreneurship, something we have placed for counseling. Counseling develops you spirit inside. That also motivates for a person to do, and entrepreneurship gives you the details. The skeleton is provided by entrepreneurship, and counseling provides you the flesh, blood and its flow inside, covered by a beautiful skin, embedded with youth, energy and fertility. So we have seen all these things here. All these things are totally put together as exterior. After learning everything, you are not going to practice this thing here. Let us start your business here. But that particular thing is mentioned for the external world. That is, it deals with your prospective consumers, with your superordinates, with your competitors, with your coalition members, with your teams, or all of the beneficiaries as well as benefactors in the society. They are known as externals. Exterior comes under your own inner campus, where you are getting all book materials, training materials, teaching faculty, teaching, training and transformation. Everything, all these sources are exteriors. Then we are proceeding towards an external, where you are going to show your might, where you are going to withstand with your courage. It is known as application field. You have practiced everything, but to demonstrate the efficacy of your practice, in order to establish your life settlement, your prosperity, and the active field where you have to translate your vigilance, knowledge, ambience, and everything put together as a success model is the real field. Real field has both ends. There will be red carpet reception, there will be red signal. There will be brilliant appreciation, there will be blockades. There will be logical sense of appreciation, there will be lobbying sense which will filter you. There will be nepotism and corruption. On the other side, there will be provisions, opportunities and everything. So it is a medley, it is a hybrid version of do's and don'ts, as well as your acceptable and indigestible scenarios that are existing there in the outside world. All these things put together, we are calling them as external. Exclusive. You are creating in this major business management world. Are you going to manage the entire world? Are you going to deal with the planetary management, cosmic management, galactical management, satellite and star management? Are you going to do that? In that ambit, in that widest ambit of management skill, you are going to manage a product of a particular geographical area within a particular volume, seated inside a small office with limited people as beneficiaries or receivers, and also a small team of members. It is known as exclusive environment. Then, apart from interior, what is inner environment? The response of exterior, external, exclusive and exhaustive, the whole globe. All these things put together inside you is inner response. That is known as inner environment. What is inner environment? My mind to study, my interest in memorizing things, the guts with which I am confident that I can face the world. I am not afraid of competitions. I am capable of imagining opportunities. Whenever I see a competition, I see parallel in opportunity. Whenever I see a crisis, similarly I see some great innovative spirit that is making me to withstand that crisis and see that the crisis is ultimately converted into constructive management. So the inner response of a person to exterior, external, exclusive and exhaustive global environment is the inner. The innermost is not only responding to shape it as a successful model and see that everything is achieved, that comes from the innermost area, the abysmal core of any person. So define management. Management is the person's ability to govern his inner and innermost nature, to tackle with the team, train, as well as to transcend the limits of the boundaries of that which exists as exterior, external, exclusive and exhaustive. This is the definition for management. You apply it for any field. Let it be family management, wife and husband management, child management, hospital management, theatre and entertainment management, pharma management, science and technology management. You can put it for anything. The application model will change. The application volume will change. If it is for a limited number of persons, with what we call as magnitude, latitude, lenience and multitude. If it is for a bigger company, you need the same thing. See, money is the essence for everything. Basically we say, if you want big things, you have to give more money. If it is a small thing, you have to give a smaller quantum of money. Similarly, management is a composite skill. There are two versions of management. You know about two things in biology. When you enter into the biological study, they say, they distinguish, bifurcate two things, living beings and non-living beings. How do they say? Very simple. Living things, they grow. Living things reproduce. Similarly, lively art or anything that you learn with art, they will reproduce and they will grow by themselves. Anything that you get inside will not need any addition. Automatically it will imbibe it into your own body and see that the natural genesis of the constructive process of your own growth is stimulated. You need not add anything, but an additive will make you to grow by yourself. So spontaneousness is the essence of knowledge or wisdom. So you can ask a question. Let it be management, let it be engineering, let it be science and technology or even medical faculty. All these things are based on a common platform. Do you have the base, the brilliance or the benevolence, all these B3 with which you can marry or you can just have a companionship with the syllabus? We are asking only one question to all students, faculties and institutions. Generally whenever we go for pedagogic assessment, how to assess the pedagogy? We ask the same question. One, you have the engineering syllabus here, you have the medical syllabus here, you have the management syllabus here. Apart from your interest, inclination, imitation, pressure, expectation, dream, and all these other fascinating factors, basically, do you have something connected with this thing already here? Whenever you move with, do you identify some parallel growth? Just as the book pages are increasing and increasing, every year we are having more volumes of book to study. Do you notice a parallel growth of observing ability, retention ability, and reproduction or constructive ability inside you? Are you watching any parallel growth except from watching a unilateral growth of stuff being increasing rather than the substance and spirit being either reducing or being stagnant or downfall? So, management is the essence of the entire global administration because we manage in our life. There are three types of managements. One is to manage with everything. That is known as a masculine management or consummate management. Second is to manage with something available, manage with sufficiency or insufficiency. We have seen many people in context. Yes, God manages everything, or he is a great manager. His managerial ability is phenomenal. What does it mean? He manages with everything. Second type of management, mediocre management is, yes, he manages. He will manage everything. Okay, some problem is that, yes, I will manage. What does it mean? It is not only solution. Adjusting with that thing and see that so we can produce something. Instead of producing nothing, we can produce something out of insufficiency. That is known as managing. First type of managing is known as conquering. Second type of managing is known as compromise. Third type of managing is, even if I don't get anything, I will manage my life. I will see something. I will say something, I will do something. So third type is known as loss. It is known as gullibility. It is known as inefficiency. It is always called imbecilism. What we need is a conquering management, not management of compromise. No doubt the government is managing poverty. Somehow they are managing or not. They are managing poverty. They are managing epidemics and pandemics. What type of management they are doing? Kindly note, everybody is managing many things. How they are managing is based upon how with ease and efficiency they manage. How productive the impact is on the other people, how it is reflecting on a broader society, how far it is sustainable and justifiable is the definition for real management. So what we have to know down, we have to struggle. We have to start our life with managing from nothing. Nothing is there for me. Still I can struggle and live. It is the basic learning whereby the person's courage or self-confidence is improvised. But that is not the eternal story or epilogue of a person. That should not be so. So let us start with, now also, whenever you are given management assignments, either as examinations or in interview or as targets or as proposals or as adventurous challenges in the society of different levels, certainly we have to start with the third level of management, but you should not end with third level. Struggle and manage without anything, from scratch. Then you go to the level of managing with something, nothing, something, anything and everything are the three levels of ascending that we are going to get in the levels of management. So management in a spiritual pursuit is, there are two types of spirituality. One is that type of spirituality which is essential for your spiritual survival. Second is the spiritual essence, that which is essential for your material survival. We are not talking about that spirituality which deals with sacrifice, worship, ritualization, recitation, realizations and liberation, and creating a great divine consciousness and awareness in the world. They are the spiritual dimension of spirituality. In management there is a spirituality, management spirituality, which is 200% more chaste to the principles of management, for which even management principles would not have been so chaste. Because management is not work of matter. Somebody asked me, how spirituality is related to management. Then I asked, what do you call by management? Then he told that resources are there and we have provisions, we have technology. Okay. Who manages and who is managed and for whom it is managed? Is it managed by machines alone? Is it managed with machines? Is it for the welfare of machines? Why are you working for the society? It is for the welfare of technology. Robotics should develop and artificial intelligence should be prosperous. And all machines, computers, especially the latest computers, i7 versions, the latest Pentiums, they should be happy and peaceful, they should be harmonious. Are we working for them? If management is not by the machines, what is anthropocracy, like democracy, what is anthropocracy? It is not robocracy. We are using robots, we are using artificial intelligence, we are using reference materials. Kindly understand, if management is done by the spirit of a person, along with the spirit of a team for the welfare of the spirit of innumerable beneficiaries, then it is a spiritual subject only. In this angle, limited angle I am saying. I am not talking about the wider spectrum of spirituality. Kindly understand that we are living beings, we have our future, we have our generations, so management has spirituality connected to it. And I want to give few points for your further consideration, because unless we search and research on these areas, our management efficiency will be just confined within the book's first and last page, within the systems on and off, within the campus and within the office. It will not reflect in a global change within a sustainable environment. It's a struggling environment for a sustainable development. It will not be so. So we need a different analysis of personalized, interpersonalized, multi-personalized and omni-personalized version of management is much required. New researches are happening in whole world about what is the personalization of management and personal reflection of the management proficiency and efficiency. Generally, we talk about business. What is business? There are three activities, because you know that every organism is very enthusiastic and always active. Every organism, in its own limit, it acts and activates. And we are also confederated amongst three types of activities. They look synonymous, but they are not so. One is preoccupation. If a normal thesaurus is verified, they cannot do much with the distinguishability of the frontiers of three activities. What is preoccupation, what is engagement, and what is business? Generally, if you think everything looks alike, in chemistry everything looks alike, but when you taste it or test it, then you can find the differences. Similarly, in preoccupation, you are doing an activity. That is your personal involvement. Whether it is productive or not, what is the ratio of its productivity or rate of its involvement, all these things are questionable. Basically, we are preoccupied, means I am preoccupied. Just it means that you are doing something. Engaged means then you are seriously doing something for a longer period. Engagement that deals with a pressure. It has something to insist more than what we call preoccupation. Business is more emphatic in nature. If you say that I am busy, you can say the person is busy. You can get a message in telecom. But the meaning is not so. Literally, philosophically, as per the rule of etymology and contextual analysis of terminology and its application, or the panoramic scope of every term, if you see business, it is far beyond the reach of your preoccupations and engagements. Business means a person is seriously and sincerely pursuing an act of productivity assigned to him or undertaken by him. This is a definition for business. Or busy, being busy means there are three parameters. One is we should be serious. Whenever you are going for a movie or you are doing some engagement, you are not bothered. Whenever you have invested your money, whenever you have invested your hope on it and you are dreaming about something, even a slightest change. For example, there was a joke I heard. A person will say, I am very courageous. Even if the Himalayan mountain is bombarded, I won't be suffering because I won't be moved by it or I won't be tortured by it. Why? The answer is simple. He said that I did not purchase it. Even if the Himalayan mountain is bombarded, I will not be worried because I have not invested anything on it. Later on, many people will die, it will collapse the economy of a country. Sentimentally, it is there. But generally, the person used to say, what I am here underlining to mention is, whenever you are serious, whenever you are sincere, and personally you are having the sensitivity to reward. Sensitivity to reward is the essence of business. The pulse beat of business mentality is sensitivity to reward. What does it mean? There are two rewards. One is retributive and second is contributive. I will be losing something if I don't attend. I will be getting everything or something if I am attending to. It is not a sensitivity, reward sensitivity or consequential sensitivity we say. This is the basic spirit or the pulse beat of business mind. So here also, seriousness, sincerity and productivity which is assigned to the person or undertaken by the person, it is not a business. And business is actually different from labor. There are two forces. One is labor force, second is business force. You know about labor, where a person's physical might or physical endurance and ability are put as work or a task for achieving something is known as labor. Getting these people, employing these people, establishing a unit of people, networking with these people, using their labor force together, applied with a sense of appreciation to arrive at something essential is known as business. Utility of labor for productivity is known as business, and exertion of work or physical might or physical endurance for achieving a task is known as mere labor. So business is a hexagonal investment. Time, energy, risk, resources, intelligence and experience. We also having our own investment. It is not only money. We invest our time, we invest our energy. Energy means not physical energy. We invest our energy in imagining things, expecting things, and we increase our heartbeat whenever we are looking for some trend change and some environmental change, some business weather forecasting. It may drop a big ball on your head, iron ball on your head. All these circumstances, we have perplexity, anxiety, expectation, disappointment, everything happens. Not only in speculative business, in every order and form of business, we have our own AR, anxiety rate, PR, perplexity rate, ER, expectation rate, DR, dream rate, DR, disappointment rate. All these things, there is a psychoanalytical study of business. We know about business informatics. There is a new science, business psychoinformatics, that deals with the business information or the business responses that we are getting inside our business house or from the external society. What is the influence of those things on human mind? Is it creating a downfall, or is it boosting the endurance? Is it enabling the person to recharge himself and to realign himself to come like a phoenix which can come from its own ashes, which we hear from fables? So what is the opportunistic option for the person based upon his mind and its configuration? There is a new science that has emerged now and still they are working. What we emphasize is time, energy. We are taking risk. We are also putting our resources. Apart from that, we apply our interior mind, which is known as intelligence. Intelligence is a well-organized mindset. That which prefers is the mind. That which builds the preferable is intelligence. So this is something very, very metaphorical or philosophical in near nature, but you know the difference between mind and intelligence. And putting the cumulative effect of your time, energy, risk, resources and intelligence together is known as experience. There was a seminar on experiential wisdom in business management. Everybody is talking about experience. If somebody has failed and studying in the same class for 5 years, how do you call it as? 5 years of experience? Experience is, you should understand, experience is a very, very appreciable word where the person's presence of every unit of time is valued by means of a rewarding instinct or benefit. Experience means every unit of time. Experience is generally connected with three issues: time, task and team. 10 years, the person has undertaken this task. For example, experience, 25 years experience inside an operation theatre. What you have been doing? I am just an assistant. Can he take a surgery? Because he is having time, but not task. He was seeing. For example, in so many schools and colleges, many lizard cockroaches, they do have academic experience of being inside the classroom. It's not only time, it is the task. Are they participating in the task? Then with whom they are working? For example, somebody is a great wrestler. He is a local wrestler just fighting with buffaloes. If the same person taken to international championship, can you do that? With the right team, with more time, undertaking the task with brilliance and virulence, that means that the person is experienced. Experience is based on value, not on mere time alone. Now in business, whenever you say 25 years of business, in 25 years, you know about the candy, sweet candy inside an exhibition. Have you noticed a sweet candy? A big sweet candy. It will be as big as your head. Just to crush it, it will become like a small pepper. If you contract the experiential value of people, those who are climbing for decades and centuries, you can see that their experience only with few months. What you get from experience is more than what you have got as a time frame or tenure or as mere records and accolades by means of your experience. Kindly understand that managerial administrative experience needs redefinition and revisit. Till today, experience, erudition, efficiency have no proper parameters at all. Then how you can derive it? See, even if you don't have it, at least you can define it properly. There is scope of getting it after 10 years. Even if there is a definition struggle like Indian freedom struggle, which happened for more than a century, even for defining and refining, if you need a struggle, then certainly when you are going to achieve it or when you are going to just see it in a paper, kindly understand we need a special revisiting about these parameters of business intelligence or business efficiency once again. Whenever we see about what is reality, then we understand how far our reality is from the real reality. This is how we have to revisit. It is known as reality management. How to manage the reality with unreality, surreality and pseudo-realities, because many things are alike. This is first management. First management is management of idealism, management of appropriateness and management of real reality. And one more basic thing that I want to emphasize here is how to create, because whatever I am saying is an exercise, an assignment or project. It is not a lecture. It is just a small drop of spark and a small spoon of fuel that is making you to create an unextinguishable inflammation inside you that will result in a great knowledge dissemination fire block. So basically, we call about M4 in management. Whenever a person is coming inside, because now there is a competition in admitting people in established institutions as well as in establishing institutions like developing countries and developed countries. Once there was a seminar on management, the principal he confessed, the real management problem is not in the society. How to manage management institutions with faculty, with students, with resources, with campus selections and campus extensions, how to manage the management institutes that we were saying. There, if you just filter people or screen people, we may not get more. That's what he told. Whenever I told about parameters of recruitment of faculty, as well as parameters of enrollment of students, he told that already there is a competition. Mushroom growth of organizations are there. If you put screening and filtering process, then we will be talking to each other without anybody else in the hall. It will become a private institution in which we both are available, really private. So then I answered, you need not screen and filter the persons while they are entering inside. Accept any person and try to create the faculty vigilance as well as the students' empowerment by means of a parallel empowerment program, PEP. Parallel empowerment, see, then a person is over diseased. A person was saying, I am eating more medicines than food. He showed a list of various medicines that he is consuming. The volume of medicines that he takes is more than the volume of the real breakfast or food items that he consumes. Similarly, we want to see a reverse here also. The motive development inside the management student should be 60%, and the conventional, when we were diabetic, then the doctor told about my diet. He told just simple thing. You are eating food and you are eating vegetables. You have to reverse. The amount of food that you consume should be the amount of vegetables. The amount of vegetables that you consume should be the amount of rice or starch. Just to mention. Similarly, we need to reverse the process of management education. 60% it should be for the so-called interior and inner, which I mentioned earlier, and 40% of the stuff that which is available as management treatises will do more than enough, because it will catch fire if the person's inner spirit is activated, the ability is activated. We used to call in management 4 things. What is the use of a management stuff to a person who is not having M4? One is business mindset or management mindset, M for mindset. Second, for mood. Many people are having mindset. The second thing is mood. Third thing is motive, and fourth is mission. These 4 things, unfortunately, are never heard. All these words are not miraculous. They are available in the dictionary. Whenever I ask you to play with us or to recreate you with us on any occasion, are you coming for a holiday? I don't have a mindset to go for these picnics at all. Somebody is saying. Somebody is saying, I may prefer it, but I don't have it in mind. Somebody says, I wish to come, but I could not. He is not having the motive. Somebody comes and goes, but that is not his mission. So, in our recreation, in our fraternity and friendship, we are seeing these 4 issues. Have you identified in your relation, in your recreation, in your general occupation, and in your near neighborhood and social environments, all these 4 parameters are not. Personally, you ask for yourself, you have a mindset, you have a mood, you have a motive, and you have a mission. And only if you have the mindset, mood, motive, maturity, vision, you take it. Let it be seeing a movie or downloading an app or utilizing an app or purchasing a car, purchasing a suit or anything else. Let it be a silly, simple, cheap or special preference, irrespective of it. Unless you have all these 4 parameters together, you don't do that. The same thing, how far it can be brought and how far it is being brought in business environment. How many people are having business mindset? If you are having a business mindset, whatever you see, you are seeing them as product, productivity and profit. What is the difference between eating an edible and selling an edible and manufacturing an edible? All these things are only responses, but they are entirely different. Recently at that King's Medical College, I gave an analogy about misappreciation of instincts. How the students or parents or the faculties or the education consultants, they are misappreciating the person's instinctive nature, how they are doing. In a car, there are many people approaching a car for different things. Somebody doing a travel business, somebody coming as a driver, somebody wants to drive for self-pleasure, somebody wants to travel in a car, somebody wants to own a car, somebody to hire a car, somebody to serve a car and somebody to assemble a car. All these things are instinctive desires and drivers. Are they equal? The person's ability to do a car or to create a new innovative version, he should go to Detroit Automobile Factory and he should create an innovation there about fuel efficiency, about engine efficiency, about eco-productivity or eco-transparency. You have to go for such a great institute. If you want to purchase a car, you have to do a business. If you want to travel, you can hire a car and sit there. All these things are entirely different. In business also, how much we are interested in business risk, business task, business reward, business instinct, all these various parameters. If you enlist business, you need many things. Desire in doing business, knowledge or knowledge enrichment, desire in doing business. I know, I want to know, I am knowing, I will be knowing, I will be keeping on knowing. These 5 instincts are there in knowledge. All these people are together, put on the same boat. If you know, or if you want to know, if you are knowing, if you have known, if you are knowing on knowing and knowing and you want to know forever, eternal learning, lifelong learning, L-cube we used to say in modern pedagogy. All these qualities are there inside a person, but it needs something to provoke it. It may be a person, a celebrity, a business celebrity in the society. It may be the family situations of poverty and struggle. It may be a person's willingness to imitate a person who is supreme in his richness, aristocratic and plutocratic environment. On seeing the person asks us to imitate such thing. Personal zeal, commitment, some other trigger, some initial ignition spark should be there. What we are emphasizing is mindset should be converted into mood. Whenever, because we know about many things. That's the problem in examination writing also. We have the mindset to get past. But whenever you are entering the examination hall, the mood of a person to write is disturbed by unwanted phobia, over anxiety on seeing the question paper, on seeing many people writing. That environment of the person's examination that changes a mood from a philic mood to a phobic mode. There is a person's interest in commitment that is converted into fear or uncertainty. So certainly now in business schools in India, especially in schools which are just established by a conventional process, they are not bothering. In international research societies, they are much working with what is the business mind. For example, in your biodata, there are 2 data. One is your biodata, second is your auto data. What is your weight, what is your height, what is your complexion, what is your blood sugar, urea, albumin, all these things may be available on a medical data or biodata. Similarly, what is your mindset availability? How to assess the abstracts? We used to call it as abstract assessment in academic achievement. Yeah. Your mindset is an abstract. Can you measure in kilograms? Can you measure with seconds or some other thing, MKS and CGS systems? We cannot do that. But there is a measurement. You can assess it approximately, how far my mindset is there, how far I am having the mood to do, and how far is my motive and what is my vision. Second thing is understanding the other side about the public. There was a lecture on public mood of purchase and investment. Psychography of public on purchase and investment. Many people, business is run by people not because of their brilliance, because of the gullibility and lacking of brilliance and prudence in the purchases only, enabling the successful run shows of many business empires. Because there was an enlistment of social categorization. How people are purchasing things. Number 1, they are purchasing things based on pride, undeserving and deserving pride. I am having a big house, so I want to park a Bentley car. That is unnecessary, but that is something reasonable. I don't have any ability to charge my mobile. I don't have any work with my smartphone, but I want the latest Android. It is undeserving. So many purchases in the world are classified by pride, by means of privilege, by means of competition, by means of unruly simple imitations, by means of craze, for fun. All these major psycho-erroneous factors are creating the purchase industry. So, whom I should give blessings? Once we were invited to a health conference. It was conducted inside a hospital. Then the doctor told, we need your blessing. I told doctor, kindly give me some option. Because there are two people in front of me. One is the doctor, this institution and the whole industry. Second is public. If I bless the public to be ever healthy, then your work will be marginalized or minimized. If I bless you that you should be prosperous, then they will be suffering. As a public representative, I should always bless that the society will be full of bubbling health, and see that you minimize with health consultancy and other things, or look for some other profession and come only for emergencies. Minimize your workload. Similarly, I am asking you to your conscience, but we are blind only with the profit. We are not bothered about any other person at all. But if you have time today, tomorrow, or after 20 or 30 years, you can just post it inside your mind and ask this question later. If the purchasing intention of the entire society is based on craze, fun, unruly imitation, competition, pride and privilege, without having any productivity or emergency usage, how will you justify the income that you get in a social angle? And one more thing, many things people purchase, they are not essential at all, unnecessary purchases, extravagant purchases, pernicious and hazardous purchases are there, especially in cosmetics. Many things are there for beautification. Whether you are healthy or not, you want to be beautiful. Especially in healthcare devices, many things are deceptive. Recently I delivered a lecture in Osmania where I told that adverse medical effect or adverse drug effect has been published by World Health Organization. They have told us to ban many drugs. They have been banned throughout the world, like S.A.R.P.V, aspirin, they are banned throughout the world. And there are the sumptuous industries that are just flourishing in rural industries in India. You can get an aspirin and S.A.R.P.V nearby any village or hamlet. How far you justify it? So hazardous, extravagant, unnecessary things are there which are happening in the society. So as a business professional for self-centrism, are you going to use their weakness and see that you are flourishing? Or as a denizen of this globe and citizen of this glorious country, or a person with conscience, are you going to see that you are going to unravel the thousands of other fortunate ways which are justifiable, reasonable and laudable that you are going to explore in your future? If there is one way to cheat the society and get $10, there are 100 ways to benefit the society and get $1,000. We should do a research. We should do a parallel research on that. Many people have been doing that. I am also going to tell in the epilogue about few successful stories. So how we are going to deal with it? This is a major question now. And in business intelligence or business knowledge, we need VBT. Tactics of business, how to manage the society, vision by which we have to foresee the future, visualization of things. We should not be seeing a computer or seeing a log book. This is just a peripheral exercise. You have seen many people practicing instruments. Whenever they are practicing instruments like sitar, for example, they will see two things. They will see the sitar, they will see the notes. Once it is well mastered, closing their eyes, they will be casually seeing somewhere else and hands will be automatically coexisting with the instrument and providing that melody without the aid of a person's optical monitoring. If the particular song or the instrument is mastered, is there any necessity for the person to see the instrument or the particular note scale, or to see the notes that are printed in the paper in before? We don't need. Similarly, if the person is capable of visualizing everything, in practice you need computer, you need notebooks, you need log. Certainly if you start visualizing inside, any person with computer will be a programmer in companies. And any person with log books will be accountant or account manager in companies. Any person with visualization with computer logs or without computer logs will be owner of the companies. We are seeing, that's what we are seeing. Most brilliant authority in business, who has the inner MBA, most brilliant authority in business with his own personal handling, they are running the companies, all other MBAs are working under him. As company secretaries, assistants, finance director, human relations director, international relations director, product quality assessment directors and other portfolios. So we have to see this and how we can produce innovation and how we can deal with psychology, IA. Now we are in the era of AI, artificial intelligence. In business, two things should be taught to you. They are expecting that it will emerge automatically from your syllabi. One is I for innovation, and the second is A, that is analysis by means of psychology. How to understand public mind, and instead of going by their own mind, feeding them with pleasure, how to travel with their mind. There are three levels of approach we used to say. If you try to be somehow different from the society, you will be totally thrown away. That is the nature of the society. So we give you three phases of transition. Go chasing the society, go along with the society, and go ahead of the society and show who you are. So how to create a change in the trend of business setup? First you have to travel. In that travel, people are very happy, business investors are happy, while they are chasing the people by advertisements and campaigning, while are going along with the people by giving whatever they need, closing their eyes and logic, whatever that is provided. These two stages, they have tasted the power of wealth and familiarity and popularity. They don't have the mind to go ahead at all. At that time, instead of transforming the society, the business community gets transformed in the second level and they stop there itself. So, how far we are going to do that? And these things, how we are going to get that? Kindly understand, rich business knowledge comes from inside, not from the infrastructure. How many SFT is there? How many books are there? How many Harvard business journals that you have mastered? All these things are secondary. That is why I told, when a person's inner spirit for achieving, whenever a person's commitment for achieving is given proper encouragement, team support and direction, the person will create a new university known as Forward University rather than Harvard University. We are not against great education institutions. Great education institutions, kindly understand, they are not useless. They are reminders to what you are having inside. They are reminders, they are accelerators, and they are directors and facilitators for you. They are not creators of something which you are not interested or which you are not enabled to do. Kindly understand. So, best institutions are there. What we have to do, a real competition is, there are two types of things. One is affiliation, and second is competitive concordia. If you affiliate with any other organization, for international academic bodybuilding and international networking and relations, it is essential. For attracting more people, it is essential. In order to improve our social credentials and image, it is essential. In order to make our own people to go for international business communities, in order to understand their scenario, their mind setup and their own methodologies, it is very essential for Harvard affiliation. Similarly, we should also produce our own innate abilities which are registered, which are being elucidated in our traditional wisdom and general human wisdom. For example, I will give you a small calculation which I did in one IAM lecture also. A rural person, with his own necessity or emergency, the person is running a successful business. Kindly understand, when you compare with the peripherals, what he is doing, he is selling pudding. What you are doing, I am selling Pomeranian dogs, I am selling gold jewels. Okay, commodity is different, investment is different, infrastructure or showroom is different, the person's ability or literacy or excellence, everything is different. But take a normal calculus, with that much of knowledge inside that own rural environment, with such a limited investment, with limited time and limited energy risk, if he has got 100, the reward, if you apply the same formula to your energy, your academic intelligence and risk, the reward is not matching. You take 10 or 20 simple business people, to their risk, to their efficiency, to their erudition, whatever they are getting is totally phenomenal and superior to what we are doing with our all-round advanced system. So what I am saying is, I am not asking you to sell pudding or promote the person to Harvard. It's not so. You apply the same calculate to your own energy, time, risk, and then you claim that you are successful. Don't underestimate anything or don't superestimate anything is what we call by estimation. It is not that glorifying something or blindly accepting or rejecting something. You have to learn from everything is known as rural wisdom. What is innate business wisdom from Harvard community? There, two special researches have been done by the Harvard people. They have been doing with international business, international finance and geopolitical and geoeconomic factors and determination of futurology, economic futurology or business futurology, business statistical modeling, that is business dynamic modeling, business analytical modeling, all these various things Harvard has done. But they have done two wonderful projects. Many people are doing, not only Harvard, all people they are doing. What is rural wisdom? What is behavioral administrative skills inside family businesses? Somebody is having innate business administrative ability or business management ability. how it is transferred to generations, how without these knowledges they understand about the changes, developments, crisis, cruciality, all these various factors which we are judging with hundreds of people spending millions of dollars, which inside their own environment, how they are capable of tackling all these things. So it is personal business environment, family business environment, group and communities that are doing business, how rural communities are doing that. All these things, investment, their energy spent, purchase or rewards, all these factors put into analysis, they are trying to build something kindly as a project. You consider it and also effectually you can match it with your own so-called advancement or so-called receiving award or enrichment that you produce. So basically this is much essential. And wherever you go, whatever you call it as a brand, this college, this education, this qualification, I am not ill-treating anybody or belittling the standards of anything that is much appreciable and sought, but make it meaningful. That's what I am saying. For example, if you can get the same thing, for a limited business means prudence. If you are an idiot, can you do business? If you get same thing or something equal or better than the same thing in your own area with limited time, with limited resource spend, as well as risk, why you are going for that? Isn't it imprudent? The best college in the world, management institute, is ICE in Singapore and France. Then you are going to Harvard, you are going to Stanford, you are going to Cambridge, then you are going to Columbia, London School of Business, the iPad school that exists in Mexico, South America, the best business school in the entire South America. Then we have IMD of Switzerland. Then we have Macquarie and Melbourne School of Business in Australia. Then even the Shanghai School of Business in China, CUHK School in China. All these various institutions in the whole gamut of the universe, including in our Indian organization, the best ranked among the management institutes of the world comes Indian School of Business. Then IIMs of Ahmedabad, Bangalore and Kolkata, all these things put together, including India, all these things put together, what we need is a small question. They may be doing for thousands of people. Can't we do it for 100 people? What is there in that school except the bricks, air-conditioned things? We should not talk about peripherals. We should talk about internals. We should not say what is there in the school. We are having 5 floors and they are having 10 floors. So they are achieving for 1,000 with 10 floors. You achieve 500 people with 5 floors. Then what is there? All these things are achievable. What we have to ask is, if somebody is doing something, that is known as management. Managing with achievers. How we can manage with our circumstances at par with the achievers and see that we can reach them. That is known as management. Management is comparing with the ascending processes and achievers. It is not saying that I am better than my country is better than Somalia and Ethiopia. We are more peaceful than Iraq and Syria. Our rulers are far better than Putin and other people, aggressive people. We are having more liberty than China. It is for consolation, not for solution. Start your life with consolation, but prepare with the solution. Then you can run your life like this only. I am more beautiful than a rhinoceros or a pig. Like that we can go on comparing our beauty, our elegance, our morality. Anything can be compared with something inferior. So what we need is redesigning, re-architecting and re-orchestration of our own institution towards the pathway of precision and ultimateness. What is re-orchestration? We can change the syllabus patterns, more methodologies, more training, more exclusive approaches towards the students. Re-orchestration. Re-architecting means not bringing everything. Now by virtual reality, you can bring the whole world here. Why we need 2,000 square feet or 20,000 square feet? Within a room, you can bring the entire cyberspace. You can bring the sky inside your room of 10 by 10. That is the greatness of virtual reality. Why we need much of expenditure? What is technology? Technology is prudence, like management. If there is an inexpensive and accessible methodology, going for something expensive and extravagant is idiocy. That person is known as a techno-idiot. No need to be a small idiot, but we can brand him as techno-idiot, that's all. So virtual reality, simulations and various other latest methodologies are there. There we can bring Harvard, Stanford, London, Cambridge and all other campuses of the world here. Teleconferencing, telepresentations, interactive discussions, cyber platforms, cyber stage shows. These people can participate there. They will come here by cyber channels and we can do much of wonders. One more interesting thing I want to quote here, just 2 things. This interesting thing is, perhaps business people generally, especially those who are in the academic pursuit, they are not being lettered with many major things that happen. Every college I go, kindly update. Weekly once, make them a PowerPoint presentation or a documentary show about what happened in this week. It is not about unnecessary affairs of connected with sports icons, media icons, political rivalry and various other stories of nonsense. They may be useful for your global knowledge or for general knowledge enrichment, but for your focus thing, what are the new parameters, new methodologies, new job opportunities? 4 things we say. New systems and subjects to learn, new methods to master, new provisions and opportunities open, and that which is remaining as an insoluble issue which is left to our conscience and capability to deal. These 4 things have to be learned by every person. What is happening, what is yet to happen, how you are going to participate, what is going to happen or yet to happen that has not happened, and how you are going to make it happen. That will reflect once in a person in 1,000. But certainly it will reflect unless it is exposed, how it will be reflected in the people. So what we need is upgrading. What is happening in the world? I want to quote something of much significance for these people. They have understood that brain has thing to do with anything, especially apart from specific brain intelligence, business intelligence is also a part of brain. So in the year 2010, they have spent $40 million in the University of Washington, where Dr. Marcus, it is a very famous project. You know about the Human Genome Project. In biology, you might have heard about Human Genome Project. Genome Project is very famous. It is known as Human Connectome Project. Human Connectome Project is a new vision and version for business people, especially in the neuroscience. So, this analytical team of Washington University, where Dr. Marcus Richel, he headed the team, and he has found out few special visions which may be useful to you. Business is connecting with people. Business means connecting with people. Millions of people with various levels of people's hierarchy you have to connect. They say in a positive brain, especially in a well-trained brain with a spirit, the brain connections also get increased. Such people can do effective business. Business means marketing. Marketing means 4 marketings are there. One is commodity marketing. Second is technology marketing. Third is concept marketing. Fourth is emotional or charity marketing. Where we can market things, where we can market concepts, where we can market rules, where we can market or project ourselves or different things. But anything, you have to connect with the society that has something to do with brain. So I want to give you 2 rules for that. The first rule is, unless you have that brain connection, you cannot do business, successful business. Then what does it mean? Do you want all of the people go for an MRI before getting admitted into BBA, BBM, MBA and other things? The second rule is more interesting and convincing to you. If a person is provided an impetus, a kickstart, by means of encouragement, if the person develops a fervor inside to do business, the brain expands, providing more connectivities. So the second thing as per the brain research is that you have to improve your connectivity. Either you should have it or you should harness it by means of your hope, scope, enthusiasm and exercises. It is possible. So certainly there should be a neurocognition lab in every management school apart from mere counseling, because counseling is an advice. You may take it or not. Entrepreneurship is a training, you may reflect or not. But a person's neuro-counseling, addressing the brain and providing specific lectures to the brain, exercises to the brain, it's not spiritual, it is something connected with brain only. Let you start with that. It will make the person to shine as, it will make the efforts of counseling and entrepreneurship to shine. It will make it more efficacious or more result yielding. So that is why the brain research is much essential. We told more connections are induced. Second thing, whenever you think about doing business and whenever you have the willingness to commit for a broader society, there is more blood flow into the brain, especially in the active regions. And third thing is brain wiring patterns. The brain has different wiring patterns like noodles. Whenever you are doing something, for example, I am dealing with art, aesthetics, I am doing with mathematics, I am doing with the humanities, I am doing with the science or innovative research. For everything, the brain wiring pattern, it reassembles itself. And something for business intelligence, there is a special wiring pattern. If you are committed, If you are sincere and if you have a strong exercise with a proper direction and drill, D-R-I-L-L, drill. I mean what I say. You are having drill for your body. What is about intellectual gym or the brain drill? If you create a brain drill, whatever you see, you are having two visions. Whenever you see it as a human intelligence, HI, you will see everything as a God-given product, a nature-given product that should not be wasted, which should be ethically used. That is human intelligence. Second is business intelligence. Can I sell it? Can I make a service center? Can I remake it? Can I make seconds and make it as a sales opportunity? Can I recreate it? Can I innovate it? What I can do with that? Can I create a similar? Can I create a next dimension for it? So we should have human as well as business eye. Human eye makes everything connected with you for you can benefit them. And business intelligence makes you to see everything and opportunities, how they can benefit you and they will work for your growth. Using others for your growth is business intelligence. Human intelligence is being useful for other people from our own services. All these things totally put together is a successful business and he is a successful businessman. And finally, what they told is not happening. What is introspection? People should not be allowed to use any external handleable elements. That is what the business research says. We are using something external or not. Like a camera, like a video recorder, like a mic, phone. We need some other gadget. It is essential. But as a part of the exercise, the other side, what you should do is, you should be devoid of any other associates and you should look in yourself. That is what he says. It is market. That is Richard's statement. It's not my statement. What he says is, you have to look inside. Because when the mind, you know about default mode. Default mode. The default mode, network circuit, DMNC of the brain is, whenever you are in the default mode, you are not attached to anything and you are thinking about how you can build things. So that is much essential. That will make you to create company and socialization, which is the most essential or vital spirit of business making. You need a company and you need to socialize. These two things are two eyes of business. You can purchase anything and you can just prepare anything. Who will eat it? In a sweet shop, if the person along with wives and kids, if they are consuming the entire produce, then how it is a business and who is going to get benefit of it? Similarly, company and socialization are much essential, and every class or every day of the business school should have at least half an hour of introspection. You think about and say about something. You just go, make a problem or solve. I'll give you a problem solve. So some internal homework for the person's cognition and conscience. Cognition says that you can do it, but conscience says whether you can do it or not. All these two dimensions of the essential human nature, you can bring it successfully. And there are two journals. I prescribe these research journals to these organizations. I don't know how far it is going to get into people, but certainly if it is released, it is going to create a renaissance in the business management industry through this college. One is a handbook of research methodologies and designs in neuro-entrepreneurship. Neuro-entrepreneurship. How to create effective brain building to face competitions and challenges in the society and be a successful businessman. Neuro-entrepreneurship. Second is, there is a journal, you know about finance. You know about behavior, human behavior. They made a wonderful interdisciplinary research in behaviorology as well as finance by creating a new dimension of science known as behavioral finance. Journal of Behavioral Finance. They made a wonderful reference to things. How people are investing, how a businessman is investing, how he is taking risk, and how the person is sensitive to rewards. I told about sensitivity. How he is doing that. They made an analysis. One small example, if the person is ready to take any risk, if the person is prepared to take risk and willing to succeed in the business, he has a difference in the prefrontal cortex of the brain. One example I am saying. It is not something connected with the book. We used to say in Sanskrit, anything is not pustaka but mastaka. Similarly, I want to emphasize the same thing. All the externals and exteriors are just reminders and affiliates. Yeah, telescope, abiscope, microscope, macroscope, superscope, transcope, all these things will work with you only if your real optical scope, the eyes are working for you. What is the use of all these appliances if the main is endangered? Similarly, kindly go through the systems of behavioral finance. Already the people are brilliant, already students are willing to get something achieved for the nation, for the family, and for the campus. Everybody is doing. But what I say is the flavor, the fragrance, the force and foundation, the 4 F's needed for any success or achievement will be more intensified if they go through these things. Already they are doing. But with neuro-entrepreneurship and behavioral finance, they can get into more success rates. Now recently United Nations, they have given a wonderful statement. Then we understood that really there is going to be a good day, at least after a century for the world. United Nations told GDP should not be calculated on mere financial development. We should consider the emotional and social well-being also taken as parameters for GDP. Emotionally are they happy or not? With money what they are getting. So it is not belittling money. It is making the money enjoyable by social and emotional well-being. It is to make the value of money more valuable. Second thing, UK, United Kingdom, they have given a new tariff in which they are little bit right brain intent, because you know that there are 2 portions of brain and we never use the right portion. Left portion deals with logical, analytical and rational sides. And those sides are much connected with objectivity, quantification of things, evidence, and much things connected with mere analysis. And the right side is known as, they call it as effective brain armory and business armory. Business needs some armor. You know about armory? If you are going to fight with militants, what you need? Not bow and string. You need AK-47 and other advanced gadgets. Similarly, if you want to fight with a competitive society in the world, you have to more use the right brain. What they are saying it as effective business armory. EBA. So MBA needs EBA. That's what they wrote. I'm not saying. What we get from this right is personal connectivity with people. How to connect with people. What is insight? The principal was saying, whatever that is visible, that decides only 40% of our success. 60% is decided by some known, unknown factors. Unknown factors, that's why we used to say in occultism, most of the things are governed by unknown factors, unpredictable factors. If you think that what you have thought has happened, that means what you have thought and what it has been thought, they collided or coincided with each other, so that what you have thought is happening. It is only a natural coincidence of that thought, macro thought system with the micro thought system. So it creates some uncertainty in life, and there is lacking of grip. People will lose enthusiasm. So that is why we used to say, if a person, once it was asked, if you are saying that everything is distant by invisible factors, then why you have to come for classes? Then why you have to go through this torturous education system, examination and interviews? Why you have to struggle ourselves? We can go for some other finance meditation and go on learning that. The answer is very simple. If you are honestly attempting for anything that is visible, if you are earnestly trying with everything that is visible and available for you, your ability to see the invisible and experience will automatically be expanded. So be honest and work hard and strenuously attempt everything that God has provided you in vicinity, proximity and intimacy, VPA. VIP I used to always say, vicinity, intimacy and proximity. This is known as VIP. Any person who is a great person who cannot be reached, for example, Donald Trump may be VMP, that is as per terminology he may be a VIP. But can you approach the person? Anything in your vicinity, within your intimacy and within the peripherals of your proximity, they are your VIPs. And we have to use them as resources for learning, for earning, for collective development and bargaining. We have to use the VIP sources within us. They are the real important persons. So what we are going to get today is the methodology of seeing the invisibility or unpredictability. They used to say business weather forecasting and business futurology also. They are saying business futurology. Many things are going to come. But if you are sincere and if you are properly moving on the direction, anything that is going to come, the sunrise will be symbolically indicated to you earlier by means of a dawn. Anything that is going to come, whether good or bad or ugly, that will be symptomically indicated to you, provided you are going with the right spirit or the right direction. So your move to the pathway with all available resources is much essential. So this right brain that is dealing with insight, that's what we call as an insight, intuition, that which what we learn, because whenever you see there is a wrong judgment, there are a lot of permutations, there is obscurity, there is ambiguity, this or that ambiguity, nothing is understandable, obscurity. Vague, something is seeing but I am not seeing with clarity, that is vagueness. So vagueness, vacuum, emptiness, obscurity, ambiguity, all these things are essential along with many permutations. But if the person is using the right brain by straining and by striving more for analysis, research and application or productivity, certainly it will start working where the insight, personal connectivity, emotional intelligence, which we call it as emogens, emotional intelligence called as emogens, all these things will prosper. Now in the business, what we were having, the earlier business, classical business rule is hierarchy. There will be a main controller, all are servants. That's what we have been seeing. Now it is actually different. We are going for team, we are going for outsourcing, we are going for employers, we are going for mass partners and consumers. We have been expanding here and there in a society with a web of connections. We used to call it as WC, web of connections. So a person's practical experiments, assignment and project making, 10 great experiments and assignments for improvising the performance of your right brain. A 2 days workshop could be organized by means of a very great neurological research center is there at Gurgaon. There is also a brain special study center at France. International or national personalities with local traditional scholars in neurobehaviorology, neuropsychology and psychiatrics, as well as persons, those who are dealing with the holistic mental well-being. All these people will guide you how you can do with the right brain research also. UK, it has recently published its own motto, manifesto, saying that right brain intent should develop in a country which ought to be prosperous. Recently, you know about the Steve Peters. He is a coach. He is a counsel, good counsel. Steve Peters. He was asked to coach the England football team. What he has coached is not about kicking the ball, throwing the ball and chasing the ball. All these things your other coach may teach. How to relax, how to rest, how to work, how to achieve, how to balance your mind, how to keep up your strain and stress. If this well-being, that platform is established, all the other kicking, throwing, packing and chasing things are very simply learnt in a fraction of time. So Steve Peters have showed a way that in every art and system of management, we need to bring emotional well-being. That is much essential. Now, we are living in a different business environment now. Before 20 years, they have changed the business environment. It is about only two things. It is not about the trade and profit. Now, today, it is about interconnectivity and sustainability of business. You cannot be exclusive. Now, the business eyes have been widened. The telescopic and the cinemascopic vision of business intelligence has proved that we need to establish interconnectivity between people, companies, concerns, firms, levels, layers, gravities and establishments. With various levels of people in the society, certainly you have to connect and create a sustainable society. In an unsustainable society, no business can sustain. This type of view has been produced. One more interesting thing is about contribution. Every person is a contributor, and for that person, every day he can do a contribution. That much is the greatness of the innovative blessing and innovative bounty. So you have to work for that. All these things are only findings of the Western community, I am saying. So to create something that is happening in the world. Two major interesting things I want to just quote. From Butler University, there is one Robert Greenleaf. He made a statement about servant leader. We know about leader, we know about servitude, we know about servant and leaders joined together. He has created a version known as servant leader. The person should have conceptualization or visualization. The person should have foresight, insight and everything. Apart from that, he should be emotionally empathetic. He should be listening. He should have awareness and he should heal the company. Now we are thinking that only sages or spiritual people will heal. Healing touch, healing word, healing vision or expectation, healing thought. The same thing is expected from any leader of the business empire. By his vision, by his word, by his touch and participation, he should heal the minds of the people and see that they are all adhered together, inseparably joined for a community growth and for organizational enrichment. So he is imagining about at least 1,000 people, those who can be servant leaders. You know about Richard Branson. Certainly will be knowing. Who is he? He is the head of the Virgin Group of companies, Virgin Business Empire. He has created a B program, business program of 3 P's. One is profit. Yes, I want profit. Second is for the people and third is for the planet. So he has created a book. That's what it is happening in the world. Not only becoming rich, and resourceful like Richard Branson is our motto. Becoming reasonably ethical and transformed like Richard Branson is also essential. That's why I am quoting. If we are quoting the same thing from Vyasa or Kanva, we will be saying those people are in hermitages inside the forest, asocialized people, why you are quoting them. These people are super socialized and rich personalities. They come to the level of triple P, apart from profit, going to people and planet. This much of thing that they have brought with great commitment. And coming to technology, just I want to quote it, 5 or 6 simple things. Now, if you are technically disqualified, you cannot do anything. Before 10 or 20 years, if you are an MBA person, either in the finance or in the human resources, or in the international business or general trade or whatever may be the division, your knowledge about facts, figures, their comparative charts, tabulations, assessment and assignments, all these things are provided to you. But now, it is not the business management that is ruling the world. Now we have come to a level of BIA, Business Intelligence and Business Analytics. There was a seminar about global bureaucracy. In 2025, it may be approximate or tentative, maybe in 2030, there won't be any IAS, IFS, IRS officers. There won't be bureaucracy. There will be technocracy. Technologically equipped people will rule the society. Similarly, MBA people will be outdated. Yesterday I told about McKinsey report. About IT industry, I told about McKinsey report to NASCOM. They told about 2 to 3 years, more than half of the people will be irrelevant for the technology and for the field. That's what they told, McKinsey report. Similarly, after a decade, MBA, you know about the value of BTech now. You know about the value of even MS. We also know the value of S.A.R.P. and .NET, which we learn for 6 months and immediately can start with 20,000. Similarly, MBA may become obsolete if you are not technically qualified. We need business analytics and business intelligence. That is the era. Not with mere data. Applying the data or the business procedures along with the tool applications and methodologies, TAM, and to culminate everything and analyze and make queries and present the same thing in the form of reports, data visualization and by means of a dashboard. That is known as business intelligence. If I say this thing, it is not repeatable or realizable. Certainly we have to work out with every chiseled portion of what I have told. And if you say dashboard, that means it should have a customized interface and the same thing should have a real active time data. What is the difference between real data or data? Data means any information. Real time data is that which is coming for connectivity, compatibility and conformability, that is known as real time data. Then certainly it should have the standard parameters of NMP, putting numbers, putting metrics as well as performance, key performance indicators or performance scorecards together. That is known as business intelligence. Now, a conventional MBA or BBA student cannot imagine what is NMP, cannot imagine what is key performance indication as per the business intelligence standards, because that is growing like anything. You are growing like a palm tree and that is growing like a monster, the faculty. So we need to provide this intelligence also. Many things it is coming. They are saying infographics, not with mere data. They are calling data tree, like a shoe mart and fruit mart, vegetable mart, they are calling data mart. What is a data mart? What is data special analytics? What is infographics, I told. Similarly, what is predictive data? What is analytical data? Advanced data? What is statistical data? Now yesterday I told about big data. What is big data? What is data mining, text mining? All these things are not for IT field, for business field I am saying. Then somebody may be misunderstanding. If all these things are taught inside a classroom, some other normal spectator will say, why they are teaching these IT related things to these MBA students, but it has become the art of the period and state of the present scenario that without that they cannot run the show. They can I told about managing. They can manage the show in the second and third levels. The first management that I told may not be possible without these things. So now in business, in traditional business or conventional business, we are satisfied only with the mere parameters. For example, what, how much, when, who. But business analytics is entirely different. If you ask when it happened, then the counter question is, if it has happened now, what happened earlier and what will happen in the future, will it reoccur again? That is for when. Then what happened? Answer is exactly different. Why it happened and how it happened. You have to answer in analytics, business analytics. Who has made it? If it is in the case of Y, what will happen? Because X has done it. How many things are there? The list is business mathematics and business management. How many things are left or missing in this calculation is business analytics. Now we have gone to a new way. They have found out this to understand that they can create trend analysis, trend change analysis, profit and problem analysis in a better way. We can optimize many processes. We can optimize the process, increase the efficiency, make strong decisions, increasing new revenues, and also there is a possibility of a person to get into more innovations and commitment to the society. So they need to get into business intelligence. Now we have come to many things like HADOPs are there, NoSQL is there, cloud platform. Yesterday we gave a lecture on cloud platform. Similarly, one thing I want to emphasize, it may be there or it may not be. We have the conventional method which we call as a trend method, which we call it as a waterfall. What is waterfall methodology? You know about a waterfall. When waterfall is pouring down, you know that the water that falls from the higher surface will not go back. So no turning back, no overlapping and no iterative process, repeating process is the nature of that waterfall. Before 2000, we have been having only waterfall process in business management and business analysis. Now they have changed the process. You have to turn back. You have to departmentalize and compartmentalize. You have to make the managerial control as well as the control in a more specific manner. Now they have created a special method known as agile method. In the year 2000, 17 software special engineers interested in business development, they all conglomerated together and created an agile manifesto. Directly hit the consumer. It means it's not hitting with hammer or something. It means approach. Directly approaching your own customers. Daily meeting and frequent reviews to be done. And don't take anything as a volume, separate or isolate or segregate them into small chunks. Then handle it. How we are going to create this? By means of achieving something to turn back, something if necessary to be overlapped. All these things are much essential. So Agile Manifesto deals with a new process. Before that, what we have been having, now what we are having. Before Agile, we are having PT, now we are having PC. PT means process and tools. What I have to do and what are the tools? There are only two eyes of business. Now, persons and communication. With whom you are working, with whom you are going to provide the benefit, and what is your communication methodology? How you are linking, interlinking and co-linking with your team, with your broader society and the entire society. How you are going to do that? Now we have got into Agile methodology. Now we have got into also DevOps environment. Yesterday I mentioned about. So what I am saying is, kindly understand, any person with mere business knowledge, business management proficiency without business intelligence and analytics is a half-eyed person in the society. In the increasing demand to get into good jobs, to sustain into competitive jobs and changing environments, to be placed in one of the very few countable thrones or statuses of established empires of the business world, you need to be more innovative and much adaptive to business intelligence environments like this. Simply I want to quote something from the normal scenario. There was a seminar on business literacy. Somebody was saying, many people, for example, Ambani, A for Ambani, B for Bill Gates, there is one more alphabetical rhyme going on. So Ambani, what he has been educated, what is Dhirubhai Ambani, not about Mukesh Anil, what he is educated with, and what about Bill Gates, what is Walt Disney, what is Thomas Alva Edison, what is Henry Ford, what is Steve Jobs. All these people, they are not educated. They are illiterates or dropouts. On the other side, we are seeing like Warren Buffett, then Oprah Winfrey. All these people, they are educated. The answer is very simple. Neither their illiteracy is the cause, nor their literacy is the cause. The spirit inside the person that is made to get the inner literacy, that is kicked by emergency or circumstances, with the fortunate availability of a time, trend and team, that has made the success. If illiterate people are successful, like the list given, we can close all schools and go for illiteracy. Illiteracy does not need any special training. We prefer illiteracy because we are having bibliophobia. We want to close our eyes whenever we see teachers, classrooms, examinations and books. So naturally, we are phobic to that is literacy. So it is not a big major problem. If literacy is the reason, then everybody can just get all colleges congested with a thronging crowd. Literacy is a provision for you to ignite the spirit amongst many other provisions. Associate provisions are there, alternate provisions are there. Alternate provisions means without the syllabus, non-academic. Associate provisions means along with your syllabus in spirit, there are many things. Kindly understand, A for associate and one more A for alternate. It is known as A2 technology. So literacy is a provision. If you want to get the stuff of your literacy by your own practical observation and experience, it will take 15 years for you. You don't know the value of what you are holding as a small book. Unfortunately, that is why we used to say value, cost and profit in business. We know about only many few things which are there within our vicinity. What is the difference between price, cost and value? For example, if there is a flower, the cost is based upon the risk or the strain that is taken to bring. Cost is based upon the doer and his energy rate, energy expense. Price is fixed by the person's demand and necessity. Value is based upon the impact created, that will be created only with responsible people. Responsive and responsible people. For example, 100 ways to become a billionaire. What is the cost of the book? The cost of the book is the amount spent for publishing that book, maybe 30 rupees. Considering the image of the writer, the message of the book or the content's value, that 30 is put as 100, that is known as price. A person becoming a billionaire, trillionaire, zillionaire or a pauper using that book is the value. So business is an art where cost is converted into price and also it should be elevated into value. The greatest successful businessman should not be confined to cost or price. From CP he should go to value. Once there should be a seminar on value fixation and invaluabilization of every product which are just entangled towards the bifurcated divisions of mere cost and price. There should be a seminar on what is cost, price and value. Similarly, the value of the book is not known to us. We know about the cost and price. The fees that we paid as well as the book that we purchased with registered or a market price, that's what we know. What we have achieved and we can achieve from the book is not known. Kindly go through the book with value analysis. Every book with 100 pages gives you 50 years of experience. Provided you have a responsive spark here, the book can contribute many things. Those people, they have not seen the book, but they have seen the society, which is nothing but the reflection of the book as well as the refraction of the book. Book is nothing but reflection of something on the society. Isn't it so? Society gets reflected on the books and book knowledge gets reflected on the society. It is a mutual reversible reaction. Similarly, if other people have enlisted now Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, all these people without any academic education, what they have done? They have seen the entire book through the society. If you see it as a small handbook, that is syllabus. If you see it as an oceanic vision, that is known as society. Society is a big book and a small society, a printed society is a book and a visualizable book is known as society. They have seen the society and we have seen the books. We have to see the society from a book. And many people, those who have seen the book from the society, they are good composers. They have succeeded in writing books. Those who fail to see the society through the book, we are struggling to read it. Whether they have done it or not should be understood by our own cognitive response for that. This is also an art of business management. We should be taught to people. So literacy and illiteracy does not mind at all. Even age does not matter. There was a seminar on young successful entrepreneurs. I would like to quote somebody which will be astonished. They are not dealing with high-end technologies. You know about cookies. Whether they are healthy to people or not, you leave that. You should know about the enterprising abilities and efficiency, self-confidence of people. You know about the Corey cookies, Mr. Corey. And when Corey started this cookie industry, just as a fun or as a part-time job, when he started, he was just 12. And you know about the famous amber. Amber food items are placed with high repute. Not only because of the food taste or deliciousness. It is based upon the amber's inspirational look. and Outlook. Cook with Amber is a big industry. Big industry means to her age of 13 it is a big industry, and she has succeeded. Many simple things. She is not dealing with nanotechnology. That boy, he dealt with cookies and she was doing with food items. From her granny, from family, she observed something and she started doing it. And you know about Lesnar's essentials. Whatever that is essential for family, general family articles, small articles, she started preparing those things with handmade goods. Lesnar's essentials. When she started, she was just 8. She printed dollars on her own by that business. And you know about Ney. Robert Ney, certainly anybody with a mobile may be knowing that. You know about Bubble Ball. You know about Angry Bird, certainly. Angry Bird is a much solicited or sought after game. But this boy, who produced, just at the age of 14, Robert Ney produced a game known as Bubble Ball. This Bubble Ball downloaded by 1 million people in 2 weeks. How it happened? You know about Mozik. Mozik is a small boy of 9 years. When he was asking for bow ties, he could not get a good one. He started making something of its own. He succeeded, and surprised or astonished at the person's entrepreneurship, he was invited to the White House as a special guest. At the age of 9. How it happened? And coming to some proud Indians. One Neha Gupta, she was very famous. She has done a wonderful thing. She is a frequent visitor, being PAO, people of Indian origin settled abroad, frequently visits her village. She was saying about these orphans and their question here. Immediately, she created a network for collecting public funds, an inspirational channel for creating funds. She collected 1.6 million school-going girl, 1.6 million. She made the Empower Orphans program successful. And one more thing, which is a death blow on the heads, brains of every person who is pursuing science with a great struggle and risk. Elementios. Elementios is a chemistry fun game that is designed by a 4th grade student. His name is Anshul Shamar. Anshul is an Indian boy. Anshul Shamar, at his 4th grade, he too struggled. But in order to make it enjoyable, Samar created a game that deals with electrons' attraction against each other. The electrons' attraction with each other by name Elementios, and he has succeeded. Coming to the conclusion, don't imagine big businesses. Yesterday I told, vision is not seeing above your head. Vision is seeing many things unnoticed beneath your feet and around you. That is the greater vision. Simple things, they have succeeded. What is age? Where comes the question of erudition? Where comes experience and expertise? Where comes huge investments? Where comes success struggles and failures or frustrations? That is the question for all of these things. These people make a mockery at our age, maturity, erudition, and focal our lamentations and frustrations. Find out these opportunities. Thousands of startups, micro entrepreneurships that we can create. One more mockery I want to quote. Certainly we will be bewildered to know about what they are doing. IAM people, now they are becoming Buddhas. You know about Honeybee Network, in which the IAM head, he has established about glorifying rural entrepreneurships. He has created, Anil Gupta has created a Honeybee Network of simple achievers. I am privileged to say their names in the stage, because saying their names itself will sanctify our tongues and also purify our ears and minds. Mansukh Bhai Jagani, Mansukh Bhai Patel, and Mansukh Bhai Prajapati. 3 people I want to quote. Mansukh Bhai Jagani, he made a wonder. He created a bike truck. Bike plus tractor is equal to bike truck. The portmanteau usage of bike and tractor. A 325cc bike engine is used, connected with a multi-tool kit base associated with a trailer that can do wonderful work at the cost of mere 20,000. He was awarded. What is greatness? Making everything tough and costly. Is it technology? Which is technology? Ask your own conscience. Making everything impossible, unreachable, unmaintainable, unsustainable, eco-unfriendly, hazardous, disastrous, collapsing, confusing. Is it technology? Technology is not on the sophistication and efficiency of a machine. Even animals are ferocious. What is the difference between the blind ferocity of a tiger and blind efficiency or power of a machine? Equally, both are wild machines and they are wild animals. What we need is domestic machines Domestic machines have common sense. Affordability, accessibility, trainability, tameability, utility, sustainability. These are all the ISA parameters of machines. Mansukh Bhai deserves Nobel Prize, Nobel Prize. That Nobel cannot be given because that is lobby. Swedish and Norway lobby. Second thing, Mansukh Bhai Patel, Jagani has made this, and Jagani has made one more thing. He has made a super plow. Super plow that is essential for the rural people, and that plow can do anything. Master plow. It can open up the furrows, it can sow the seeds, and it can create also the interstate culture, interculture between the crops. Everything possible by a semi-mechanical device, not by artificial intelligence. If that is artificial intelligence, this is natural intelligence. But that is essential for the society. What Patel has done, he has created something that is creating suffering to people. Striping cotton. It's not Chandrayaan. It is Karpas yarn or cotton yarn. How to go to cotton? Because labor crisis is there. And striping cotton is a very, very big issue. It is a strainsome issue. So what he has done, how we can strip cotton within no time without any strain. And Mansukh Bhai Patel succeeded in stripping cotton from opened and semi-opened shells in a very fabulous way. The greatest worship goes to Mansukh Bhai Prajapati. He has made non-stick pans and high-tech refrigerator made out of clay without any electricity. Who is a technocrat? What is innovation? I am astounded. Kindly understand the parameters of technology. It is eco-friendly, it is cheap, maintainable. It may have defects like fragility, something made out of fragility, and certainly there are possibilities for them to be broken up and other things. What I am asking is, enlist the merits and demerits of this refrigerator. Costly, eco-unfriendly, more energy consuming, unethical in nature by all means, not good to health. These are all the defects. Considering the defects which are irremovable from a refrigerator, we can bother about one or two defects in that particular clay-made refrigerator which are easily madeable by further fabrication and strengthening process of clay. How good, how great, how simple, how accessible. Mansukh Bhai Prajapati still rules the hearts of the rural people. Is it being marketed? Is it being promoted? How far it was congratulated? This is a question. Isn't it entrepreneurship? Isn't it business intelligence? Isn't it technology? Isn't it analytics? How you are going to judge? I am not against any technology, but also see the other face of technology. Ugly face of this technology and beautiful face of simple technologies. Unless you see both these things, seeing this only technology, there is a wrong vision. And similarly in the Puchampalli saris, you know about Puchampalli saris, very difficult to weave and bind them because of their contextual nature with complexities. Now somebody Malleshwari, Chintakandi Malleshwari, she without any knowledge, she has made a weaver, machine weaver. Wonderfully they have made that, successfully. Similarly for threshing various things like grains, even groundnut, a thresher has been made. How many things have been made? I have to quote one more person, Santosh Kaveri. He is a small boy. He has created a eco-friendly water boiler and coil. He has created a hot water coil. Very simple person with no investment. He has created brake for bullock carts. And he has created a wonderful carrot cleaning machine which just massively, colossally that deals with the cleaning process without any labor. So all these people should know about the power of entrepreneurship in young people from the first list and the need for rural entrepreneurship. If simple people with that technology they could achieve that, unless you achieve to such a comparably greater height, you cannot boast that you are technically high or you are erudite. That's what I want to emphasize here. Many people now they have started. Once there was a seminar on startups. Startups are basically meant for entrepreneurs who have entrepreneurship in their blood and spirit. Once again, many people, some persons, educated people, I have seen a person, he has started something under the mango tree. Name of the startup is Under the Mango Tree. They are selling honey. Somebody deals with food services. Somebody 361 Degree is a big startup company that is dealing with designing. Somebody is doing with, now everybody is blogging. So Indie Blogger is a company that which is dealing with making bloggers for people. Similarly, somebody is dealing with, there is one company yesterday also I mentioned while discussing, what better? Any company is having shortage of either labor or inefficiency of labor. whatever may be the grade. So these people are training these people work better. It is not only a recruitment agency or manpower agency, it is man empowerment agency. Empowered man's placement agency. Somebody is doing work better, that startup is there. Similarly, many startups are there. One thing I want to quote once again. 4 people well qualified in IAM, they did not want to go to business in great business empires, voluntarily sacrificed the opportunity and started startups. What they have done, 3 things are interesting. One is shocking and surprising. What the 3 things are there? Somebody started with the data analysis. Okay, he is a knowledgeable person dealing with that. Second person with investment security and other things. Okay, that too is. And third person, it was a little bit different. He dealt with photographers and their connectivity with their responding clients. Pocaloid. He has created a startup known as Pocaloid. That is the photographers connected with the demanding society, like Make My Trip people, like Bharat Matrimony, Tamil Matrimony, like that. It is linking between photographers, videographers and audiovisual technicians with the demanding people. Pocaloid he has created. The last person, he has found something which is very needy for the needed community, which will fetch you name, service, profit, market, everything. He has supplied the best hygienic sanitary napkins to the most rural and tribal areas from IAU. Kindly understand, thousands of things are there. Thousands of things are there for our future. Many things are there. We can deal with construction, we can deal with expansion, we can deal with interior decoration, we can deal with furniture, we can deal with ergonomics, occupational therapy, health services, cosmetic services, child health care, maternity health care units, medical devices. Special health doc is a startup. Health doc, kindly go through the startup. Many people are struggling without proper pharma as well as medical consultants. These people are linking there. Like health services are there, transportation, research, retail, manufacturing, stocking, distribution, branding, brand imaging and development, publicity, propagation, popularization, image popularization, business advices, entrepreneurship development, soft skills, communication skills, personality development, skill development, women's skill development, handicrafts training, and in the science we have computers, we have hardwares, we have interfaces, we have softwares, we have apps, we have even telecommunication devices, wireless networks are there, aerospace division is there, fashion shows are there, beauty is there, entertainment is there, logistics is there, packers and movers, logics, these people are there. Logical analysis and trend study is there. Syllabus e-learning is there. E-training methodologies are there. E-placement methodologies are there. Governance methodologies are there. E-coaching methodologies are there. No matrimony, you know that all these things are much common. Like that we are hundreds of opening we are having. So what I wish to say in my conclusion is, you are in between an ocean of opportunities, just in a pool of misery and confusion. You have fallen inside a pit of inabilities, climbing upon which you can just get into the mountain of success, the peak of success, which are nothing but the mountainous exposition of your own hidden, latent, unnoticed, undirected, uncontrolled, untamed potentialities. Business is a great work. It is not something trade, that's what I told. Business is the worship of God. You get 10 rupees from a person and you give him a satisfaction, pleasure and complacence of more than 100 or 1000. If you don't do that, business becomes unethical. Every person gets something, gives something, shares something and distributes something in business. Ethical and efficient business has thousands of opportunities. Anybody who is dull-headed and dormant-minded, they will say that there is stagnation in business, so I have to go for unruly means or backdoor entry. The front door itself can accommodate millions of people to enter and live for thousands of years together with success. You are fortunate enough to deal with Lakshmi. Business is not something which is very simple. You are taking care of 4 things. Don't think that it is money. First of all, it starts at money. Second, it becomes prosperity. The third level, it is welfare. In the fourth level, it is global well-being. The money that you are handling is the threshold or entry gate to global well-being. If you think it as mere monetary benefit or a fiscal limit, certainly it is money. Think money as wealth and prosperity. Consider prosperity as en route to welfare. Consider sustainable welfare as the source, only source and force for universal well-being. You are very fortunate to have entered into the greatest realm of wisdom and greatest form of service to mankind by getting into business. See that the sanctity and serenity, stability and sustainability inside the subject you selected is brought out. Instead of seeing only opportunities for profit. That is why we used to say somebody does a business because they get money, that is known as profit. Somebody is doing a business for somebody to get something useful, that is known as a benefit. Somebody does benefit something for their own satisfaction and happiness. Somebody told, why you are doing this thing? I don't think that you are getting something. The person will be drawing some pictures or portraits and something there. He will not get any profit. He told that I am not doing it for benefit or profit, for my soul fit. I am happy by that. I am doing for somebody else, team fit. I am doing for me, my own mind, soul fit. I am doing for my pockets, profit. I am doing for others, that is benefit. There are 4 pillars of business. I wish, pray and bless for the welfare of this institution, the assembled audience in the form of students, faculties and other personalities here to have the real sense and understanding of business. I wish that all these pebbles available for lectures be emerging and exalted status of shining as stars in the firmament of the global fortune and future at the earliest. Narayana.